All right, you guys see this? All right. All right. I'll back. Layla asks Wook to explain why it was delayed. So Wook apologizes for the delay in the battlefield content. Final test of the map. Players are disappointed. It was necessary to balance related to PvP engagement time. Welcome in, Yang. Looking at the current situation, there are many cases where the character dies as soon as the battle begins, before even realizing what the situation is. So what he's talking about is when you respawn in Battlefield of the Sun and an opponent has decided to try to spawn camp you, like if you're low enough in CP, like you melt while respawning, and that is a terrible user experience, right? Is one of the reasons why I don't do Battlefield of the Sun and I won't stream Battlefield of the Sun anymore, because I want them to change the mechanic of it. Don't you have invincibility for a while? Yes, but also lag, also ping delays, right? So desync, yes, you do have invincibility, but like if you lose 3 seconds of invincibility because of lag and you're not doing anything, right? Like you get in and before you can do anything, you could still die. People will continue to die. From my point of view, I'm actually starting to feel helpless as it's a very negative experience. And as that continues to accumulate, I'm reluctant to participate in the PvP content. Guess what? Me. And I'm a content creator for BDM. I refuse to participate in the content because of this. Can we steal respawn points in the new Battlefield? I mean, I'm sure that, I don't know if they've changed that, but, right? It's a rough experience from the user experience standpoint. Yeah. So he is acknowledging the what the players experience and how that translates into player time, right? Is this only going to affect Battlefield? Now, here's the thing, right? Right now, the thought is on Battlefield only, but that's a really, really good start. Even if they're just starting from Battlefield, they know that this has to start going to other aspects as well. Because they're seeing lower and lower participation in big PvP content. If the situation becomes prolonged, as it's happening now, even from a high power preferred, there are no more PvP opponents. Okay. Now, I'm thinking like this will even affect like Outlaw Banquet or Castle Siege Holder, right? Because he's thinking broadly about PvP content and the PvP experience, right? If the imbalance of combat power is so counterproductive where a large swath of players are unable to enjoy the PvP content, They're secretly just going to buff min damage, but that doesn't solve it. Buffing min damage does not improve survivability, poor child. Buffing min damage doesn't solve it. So what Am Not Creepy said at the beginning is they're going to nerf PvP damage. That's what caught my attention. So Layla says, I thought that it could not be helped even though there was a difference in combat power, right? This is what players are used to. It's a result of a difference in combat power, but the reason is that it can't be, keeping it out is not a good option. Not to say I'm going to ignore the weight class difference, but I think the problem is that the engagement time is too short. And even if the fight is between just one-on-one, it's short. So while combining techniques, combining skills, you have to, it ends so quickly. Even if the combat power is just a little higher, it ends so quickly. But what's the point of leaving it like this? A little bit of, it's some, so basically what he's saying is he's recognizing that, right? For a long time on this channel, I have talked about where the difference in combat power starts to, increase damage. And I say the damage differential. And it is noticeable at about 500 CP difference where the person with higher CP is really able to start doing a lot more damage to you. So when you're thinking about the difference between me at 58k and let's say Cliff at 75k, we're talking thousands and thousands of CP, at which point, like, it's one shot. It's been a while. I haven't touched Battlefield ever since I played Otter vs. Pap. I want them to bring back Otter vs. Papu. If this is hit normal field, I'm just going to go Paladin. So oh, you guys missed it. We just got invaded by Genie. We have to run. All right. I'm gonna pause right here because of what she's saying right now. She's saying, I felt that way when I first started Battlefield of the Sun, and I thought it was because I was just a new player, but it didn't get better after that, and I died in an instant. I don't know why. But if you work hard and go again, die again, and it just keeps on repeating. If 2% of your team is smart, you've been playing with um, how to play Battlefield, rest is news, you've been playing with them for a whole time. Yeah, okay. So Layla is an example of the experience, okay? So she asked, what will it be like? And Changwook is going to show us. All right, arena. Okay, so Choryong gets the kill. You don't want to be rude, but you think she's a noob. But I mean, come on. She's she's been playing for a while, but she's probably not like hardcore into the gearing and everything like we are. Okay, so 67 KCP. So okay, what they're showing is the Choryong is basically is stunning, basically CC locking the opponent. Okay. So now with the adjustment, okay, you use the skills like this in succession, you won't die, but you will be in a state where you can do more while you're still alive. But 50% of the health remains, so the person retreats a bit. He's a he's a casual player. Still the experience of new players. We don't want to discourage them. Most of the whales are casual players too. I'm that is not wrong. Most of the whales are casual players. Okay, so I'm going to rewind this just a little bit, just so that we can see the side by side. Okay. It's still a noob. Your whales whales are skilled at one skill called swipe. Okay? And we're talking swipe right, swipe left, swipe up, swipe down. Sometimes they're even good at tapping. Okay. Okay. So here this is side by side. So on the left side, the opponent has already died. Okay. On the right side, the opponent is still alive. It's more of a reversal situation. Okay, so all right, so weapon, it doesn't look good. uh, for the whales, no, it does not, because if it means their survivability, be real, whales are the reasons the games are able to stay alive. Global had huge non-spenders. So Global had a huge number of free-to-play players, but we also had the biggest big whales. So, um, you have to remember that the launch of Black Desert Mobile globally is what made Pearl Abyss um, over $1 billion in the first year. It is what made Pearl Abyss $1 billion company. Launching BDM globally is what made Pearl Abyss a $1 billion company. So BDM Korea, yes, sure that there are a lot of whales. Launching it globally is what made Pearl Abyss $1 billion. We have adjusted the calculations of attack and defense. All right, guys, folks, huge change. System change. This isn't just min damage, right? Min damage is attack only. Adjusted the calculations of attack and defense. Also adjusted some of the PvP skill damage, and a reduction in the amount of damage received from adventure has been applied. Weapon, I want to say so many bad words. All right, folks. I'm going to pause here for a moment and I'm going to snack. Dang it, what happened to my water? I need to go get it later. Okay. So they have adjusted attack and defense damage. They've adjusted some of the PvP skill damage and a reduction in the amount of damage received from adventures. So across the board, right? This isn't min damage now. This is a pure reduction on damage received. Min damage is increased. Where one shot was so careful, if you made just one mistake, it meant victory or defeat. In the future, use psychological warfare in time to decide what to do next and how to proceed. Okay. So what he's saying is he wanted to create an opportunity for the player. Like, you guys remember my ranked arena placements going up against an even CP berserker in arena? Basically wiped me out in one combo. The goal is to prevent that from happening. Right? And so what he's saying is he wants to create PvP situations that make people have to rethink that their situation. And that's important because any noob can take a broken class and win in normal arena and record the video and upload it to YouTube and say that they are the best arena player in Black Desert Mobile. Any noob can take a broken class and they can do that. We've had some in our guild before too. This will help address that, right? It's not it doesn't fix the class balancing, right? It doesn't. It does not fix the class balancing. But what does it fix, right? It actually is working on modifying the actual damage system, both both attack and defense, applied and received, given and received. They're looking at the system and making adjustments so that they can create different PvP situations. In that one-on-one, you can no longer one combo somebody. It creates a situation where basically the opponent has a second chance. Now, 1 versus 2. So here it's 1 versus 4. So basically, all 4 characters, are in the stun daze area. And remember, Orion has a skill that applies daze 19 times. Rich, shots fired. Oh, Rich, you know someone like that? Yeah. Okay, look at how much less damage the opponents have taken. Okay. Now this is really, really good. This is really, really good, guys. Okay. What they have done now is they're starting to modify how the actual skills are applying damage, right? Based upon the actual skills. Guys, this is a big, big step forward, okay? What they're saying is this skill is in a cone shaped, but a majority of the damage is to the one that is directly in front and then in the center. So I, as a Torian magician, I am going to do this, and the AoE damage right now gets evenly applied across the entire area. But the change is now the damage disperses the further away it is away from the focus of the attack. That makes sense. That is logical from the perspective of you would expect that if you are doing a linear cast with some AoE to the side, that the damage will be less at the edges than it is in the middle. Whale's gonna be pissed. So if you also notice the the ones behind, okay, the ones behind the one in the front barely took any damage because the one in front of it was acting as a tank. Now what you've created is a situation where your actual player positioning matters. Have a high HP DP player standing in front as you do an approach, right? You get a bunch of AoE coming your way, while your high DP HP player, they take the brunt of it and they can survive. Guys, like, this is the kind of system update that many of us have been wanting for forever. Okay, watch again. Left, they just die because it's evenly applied. But on the right hand side, you see that the damage is different for all of the characters. Whales won't understand it. Don't worry. Oh, the whales will understand one thing: why are people not dying? And then they will, and then it is likely that they will quit. Oh, you like the left one? Okay, look at this. This is the first, right? In a linear pattern, right? Players in front to the back, they're all taking equal damage. Okay, here you can see the front took more damage. The others behind it still took damage, but not quite as much. And remember, because we have food and memories with heal on evade and heal on hit, those are opportunities in order to like get healed up and get back into the game. You don't receive the same damage. Damage is applied in proportion to the distance, so if you're close, you'll receive more damage. And if you're far, you will receive less. Yay, physics! I just want to clip me saying that and just repeat it over and over. Yay, physics! The same thing they were talking about 3 years ago, but now they're actually doing it. All right. So this is Battlefield of the Sun. Not that you're trying to reduce the difference in physical strength, but it's a... Let me back up. Wook's voice is relaxing. I tell you what, that guy... Wook becoming BDM's game director, best thing to happen to BDM. It's going to affect every class because it is not class based. It is the damage system that they are changing. Make it the same in all battlefields and battles. So yeah, YouTube YouTube couldn't translate fast enough. Um so weapon, too bad your account isn't in America's, because I'd be like, hey, I'll take your account. So this part where he said is he wants to have the same experience everywhere. Okay, so Arena will still maintain the same version of super armor, skill limit. So there's like already disagreement from the people that are powerful versus people that are weak. Okay, all right. All right, good luck, Elridge. I'm about to start the giveaway because it is that time.